Hello and welcome to another edition of Brave Namibia, where we celebrate both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. Our first clip today takes us to Mariental, where Monique Adams catches up with 30-year-old Romanus Kanyanga, who is the owner and founder of Kanyanga Media Group that shares photography, tailoring and filming skills for the young people of the community.
Romanus Kanyanga is a 30-year-old born and raised in Mariental. He graduated in 2015 from the University of Science and Technology with a B.Tech degree in Information Technology Systems, Administration, and Networking. Currently, he is employed as an IT technician at Hartab Regional Council.
Hi guys. Welcome to my house. This is where it all started. This is where I grew up. Welcome. When I wanted to register my business, I was thinking I can't focus on media alone, or photography alone. So I registered my company. It is registered at Kanyanga Media Group. So we do a variety of things. You understand? First of all, we do everything in media. We do printing, we do embroidery. As you can see, these are one of my machines behind me. I recently obtained a bigger one. I will later on show you what I started with in embroidery. We do car branding. We do, like nowadays, it's all about social media. So we also do marketing when it comes to other businesses, marketing other businesses. So our prime focus is wedding photography, corporate events. This is our main focus. That is when it comes to photography. When it comes to the printing, we focus on school uniforms, creating matric jackets. We focus on companies, company logos. These are the type of things that we focus on when it comes to the printing. And then the other thing that we also, with my company, because I am having a degree in IT, I also do IT services. That's what I also provide. Even though I have clients in different towns, nowadays it's very easy. We do it via the internet, we do it via TeamViewer, we do it via Zoom. That is how I provide my IT skills towards my clients. All right, so currently my business, finally I'm here in Mariental. So I'm actually working on opening up a small media house. So there are a few plans that I have for this business. First of all, I want to focus more on the key thing here is to open up a studio. So for me, ever since I was a kid, I always believed in skill transfer. Because the thing is, when you inspire others, you will keep on growing. So the first thing is I want to open up a studio where I can have the opportunity to train youth on how to use cameras, on how to create films and how to create content, because the future is all about creating content and going on. That is the first focus that I want to do when I open up my studio. I don't just want to make it a business, but I want it to be a place where I can also inspire and also transfer what I have towards the others. Because for me, it's not just about making the money, but also to build a legacy and knowing that one day people will remember you for not just making a lot of money, but also for inspiring others. Okay, as you can see, these are my two little beautiful girls. They always say that people need some sort of a motivation. A lot of people ask me, where do you get the energy to do all of these different projects? So if you see these two little girls here, you will understand. Last one, her name is Alma. And this is my firstborn. Her name is Lupita. Okay, now we're gonna go to a studio I recently opened up with a friend of mine that I tutored and I showed how to do videography, photography. So let's go.
Hello world. My name is Misael Tulipuambane Shindo, aka Danger D-Nice. I'm from Mariental and currently we are here at Danger Snap Studio. Like my journey into the photography industry was made through by Romanus Kanyanga, and Romanus Kanyanga had this business, like he got it from his father. It was officially started by his father, but then his father passed on, may his soul rest in peace. So he took over the industry, and then that's when he took me in. So I started off as a light man, and until until I mastered now the cameras and all that. So.
Backyard setup. The same as everything starts small. So this is what I set up with my mom just for trainings.
In 2018, Romanus Kanyanga's mother also joined the program to train young girls on how to tailor school dresses and traditional clothing. His mother's name is Elizabeth Kanyanga, who is aged 57, and she is a self-taught tailor that started in 2000 in the trade. She currently has 2 school learners that she is training at home. Now we have arrived at the local church that Romanus also helps with workshops, and we get to speak to the pastor.
Good afternoon. My name is Father Charles Goliath, and I'm a Oblate of Francis de Sales, a Catholic priest stationed in Mariental, and I'm also a teacher by profession. I've come to know Romanus as a young man when I started my priestly training here in Mariental. And although it is not very rare that children follow in the footsteps of their fathers or parents, it's very special that this young man has really taken up the role of his father and has even go way beyond it. He has really perfected the art of his father. So he's doing a very good job in that sense. He's a very generous, very kind-hearted young man who always avails of himself. He had a lot of workshops here, workshops during which he has really shared of his expertise, his experience, as he is trying to uplift the community.
My naam is Poppy Kambule. Ek werk by die printing shop, die eienaar is Jolandi Tate. Tolle is een van ons grootste kliënte hierso. Dis iemand waarmee jy kan werk, baie wonderlike mens, lieflike mens, halfvaardig. En ek kan maar sê dit is iemand wat vir ons die meeste geld hier inbring. Jy kan enige tyd op sy knoppie druk wanneer jy ook soos sponsors soek, wanneer daar byvoorbeeld begrafnisse is in huise waar daar niks aangaan nie, dan kan ons op sy knoppie druk. So Tolle is 'n goeie mens om mee te werk.
Hi, goeiemôre. Ek is Jolandi van Wyk, die eienaar van Halle Investments Printing Mariental en Krafthartwy Coffee Shop. Ons doen hier enigiets, ons print enigiets en ons het Tollo is een van ons goeie kliënte. Hy doen al die houtwerk goedjies en die boksies en alles wat hy vir die trougeskenke doen. So ja, ons het 'n noue verhouding met mekaar. Romanus is 'n redelike hoe kan ek nou sê? Hy is 'n kliënt wat hou van sy werk moet goed en netjies gedoen wees. So alles moet perfek wees en ja, ons werk lekker saam.
Yeah, I also, after getting a job, I had a full-time job, but I also did things on the side. Like I said, it was photography. I had DJing and then also modeling. I also did a few modeling gigs. You know, you have to do everything that somehow brings in some sort of money, because I had 2 daughters at the time, you understand? So I had to get some sort of money to take care of my 2 daughters as well. So I tried a lot of different things. So now my prime focus is basically, I registered my company in 2017. So now I want to go more legit, and I want to expand my business as well to different towns and so on.
Now we are on our way to Romanus High School. Now we are currently at Romanus High School, and he says this is where he met his first love, and this is where he was molded as the man he is today, and he really appreciates his high school year.
Thank you for tuning into a small biography of mine. All I can say is you have to dream big. Nothing is impossible. I started off as just a normal kid like you. I started from a poor background. I'm still not where I want to be, but keep pushing, keep dreaming. Nothing is impossible. You understand? If one dream fails, dream another dream.
Next, we head to Windhoek's Okahandja Park Informal Settlement, where Tanja Bause spoke to Shitalala Gorases, who despite many challenges, has just graduated with a degree in law.
My name is Shitalala Gorases. I am 26 years old and I grew up here in Okahandja Park. I was doing my Bachelor's of Law, so I'm a whole LLB graduate. And I'm busy with my board exams this year.
About going to school, living here, growing up here, what was it like?
Growing up here was tough, but I think you did not really see something better, so you thought it was supposed to be like that. So I remember mostly we had soup kitchens. So after school, we used to food to school, and when we come back, the soup kitchen was the thing where you go get your lunch. So we would always rush home from school, go get our plates and come run to the soup kitchen so you can get your lunch. Obviously, it was not always enough, since there's more demand. So you have to be sure you should be early, with your bowl, with your spoon and your plate. And
You didn't stay here your whole life?
Yeah.
Until when did you stay here?
I stayed here until my grade 8 year. My little background is that I had a violent stepfather. I went through a lot. I went through sexual assault, molestation, and physical abuse. And later after the whole court procedure, I was placed in a children's home, me and my 2 siblings. So we went to go stay in Eros. It's called Namibian Children's Home. And that's where I stayed for my high school years.
What did you do right after high school? Did you go to study?
After high school, I first went to work. I applied for the Namibian Police Force. And yes, I was taken. I was one of the lucky people that actually got a job while I was very young. So I think I was 19 when I joined the force. So I went. I was actually studying that year. I was doing this bachelor's of business management. So I put my studies on hold and I'm like, okay, wait, I'm going for training. So I went to Ndangwa, finished my training, and I came back 2015, and yeah, I went to training 2015 and 2016 I started working. So that whole year I worked and I started my studies in 2017.
That is now your law study.
Yes.
Why did you decide to apply for the police?
One thing is that I fell pregnant while I was doing my first year, the one that I told you, business management. That time it was still Polytech, now it's NAST. So knowing that, coming from this background, you gotta stand for yourself. You gotta become an adult very fast right now. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna first put my studies on hold, go for training and, get some income so that I can sustain me and my newborn that I got now. And that's how I applied for the Namibian police.
Okay, and then why did you decide to go into law?
I think when I got to the training itself, I always thought I would do something commercial, since I was in the commerce field. When I was in high school, I had business management and accounting and things such as that. I never thought of law at that time, but when I went to this training, there was a subject called law. And it was very interesting for me, Okay, comparing to my law degree right now, it was basically like 5% of criminal law subject, a module that we have, where they dealt with, your constitutional rights and the police and what the police does and how they're supposed to take care of you. And, I got to learn all this and I was like, this is interesting. So when I got back from the training, I was like, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out, do I have the required marks to do this law degree? And I was like, okay, now they are requiring 30 marks. And I was like, okay, but you have 35, so score. You actually, you actually qualified, So I applied for it. I always, whenever I talk to somebody else, I always tell them that I lived through every sob story that anybody can tell, that people will kind of understand why you did not fulfill your, fulfill your destiny kind of way. Like I can tell them, as a child, I went through rape, and because of those things, I just left school, or I came out of poverty and it was very hard to go to school, or that I'm a product of a children's home and I did not receive love, and all those things, it will kind of make sense, for somebody to understand why you did not finish school or all that. But besides that, I always tell them, if I could make it, besides all those circumstances, I think anybody can make it.
Because you've actually got the perfect excuse to throw your hands in the
Yeah,
and say, I'm done.
Of course I do, I do. But I did not, and I think mostly it was because above everything that was going on, school was kind of the center. I put my whole attention on school because, going to school was fun, and if you were doing good in school, you received love. So even though things were hard at home, the moment you go to school and you get a good mark, and teachers hug you, and you kind of become the center of, you get that little attention at school. So that was fun for me, and that was nice. And I think that's why I put so much of my time in school. I remember I used to hate it when school would close. I was like, the teacher would tell me like, okay, today it's the elder kids are starting with exams, so you don't have to come to school. You can just come collect your report Friday. And I would be like, I would hear her and I would say yes, but the next day I'm at school again, because I was like, it was a way for me to get away from everything that was happening at home. I think going to the children's home, okay, now that I looked at it, it's the best thing that could ever happen to me. But that time, I did not think of it like that. I was like, why is it not my stepfather to move out of the house? Why should it be us to go? And I was like, and my mom will still remain here with him and he will still, So I did not like that point. I think when I went to court, I also asked them, but why can't we stay with my mom and then he moves out? Because I think if we are together, we will be fine. But I don't know, procedures were taken, that time that I did not understand. So we left. And it was very difficult. I think the most difficult thing was that when I got to Eros, they spoke Afrikaans. And coming from this background, we don't speak Afrikaans. Here, praat ons Damara. But that time, there were those Tannies and they were very strict on the Afrikaans speaking. And I was like, but I don't understand this language. I remember they asked my birthday and the first thing I said was, die 3de September. And they laughed at me and I was like, what's wrong? It's 3de. And then they had to explain to me, okay, that's not how you use the language. But besides that, the other challenging thing was also because you are gone from the people that you know, even though, it's hardship. You kind of made a family here, You got used to these people that are the same with you. And when I got that side, it was totally a different environment. The language, the rules, the whole set. Okay, yes, everything was there. I remember being so excited because there was a shower and hot water. So I really did not lack any of the basic food and things such as that. But I still kind of hoped. If it was up to me, I was like, but I think all of my friends are supposed to come here, because I'm like, okay, here you get attention and you get food and you get pocket money. So, but I always thought about still the others, that could not make it, the people that were running to the soup kitchen with me, to be on time to get their lunch. Yeah. My dream for the future is to be as successful as I can be. I don't want to just end with my LLB. I still have hopes and I actually even saw what I will specialize in. So I'm still going to continue my studies. My lewe was nie maklik nie, maar ek het dit gedoen en ek dink julle sal dit ook as julle dit net bietjie push.
Thank you for tuning in. If you know of someone you feel should feature on our show, please contact Brave at nmh.com.na.